up.
Oh, God.
Sorry, turn it up.
Okay,
Is that better? Is that a little bit better? Modulate your voices.
Turn it up within reason, dude.
What is up, everybody, and welcome into the pregame show.
Let's go.
You always have energy, man.
Look, I
give me
love
an air
it.
horn.
Now, look, I'm good. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to be here. I'm excited to be here. It's going to be a great night tonight, bro.
You guys know him. We got a guest in the house. None other than Jokic's greatest defender on the internet, Swipa Cam.
Dude.
What do you think about the set, dude? What do you think about
I
the
love it. This whole
lounge?
thing, DNVR is crazy. The bar's crazy. The setup's crazy. I love it.
You got to bring the energy of not just dev, but also vote.
I like the greatest thing for Swipa is that he's immediately getting immersed in Adam yelling at him and telling him what to do right before the show starts.
I get everybody in shape, man.
Adam, right before the show starts, Adam always is like, we need energy. So welcome, Swipa. You're one of us.
No, it's cool. I'm excited. It's going to be dope.
And the guy over there on the far end who's complaining already, his name is D-Line Co.
That's actually not my name.
That is your name.
Hey, guys, I'm looking forward to a sweet game between the Denver Nuggets and the Portland Trailblazers. I hope that Yusuf Nurkic is embarrassed on television. Not national TV.
We're joking that tonight's game is the opposite of national television. It's Altitude 2.
Yeah.
There's going to be 7 of us watching the game tonight.
Yeah, it's the secondary channel of a channel that's not available to 80% of people in Denver.
Look, I came back to Colorado and realized that I would have a worse time watching the game.
Yeah. I hope you have a
VPN. It's unbelievable.
Got to get the VPN rolling. The Nuggets, guys, we're going to have some fun. You guys know, I'm joking about it, but Swipa really is, he knows the haters. He sees the Jokic haters, I think, more than anyone. He made a list that we're going to get to a little bit later of the top 5 biggest haters, Jokic haters on the internet.
Oh, God, I hope I'm not on this list.
I don't think you're going to make the list. You were close. You were honorable mention. I hope those guys aren't watching the show, though. You never know. We're also going to talk about, you know what, Murray and Porter are back. So what does the rotation look like? Who are the top 9 guys on the Nuggets? And then Dev's not here, but Eric's going to give us some picks.
Hell yeah, dude.
Feeling confident about one pick that gives you terrible odds. I already know it. But
terrible odds, but the most delicious pick of the year every year.
Yeah, so stay tuned for that. But first, game notes. The Blazers are in town, and here's the deal. The Blazers are at the end of a 6-game road trip. Did you know that? They've been on the road for 6 games, so this is the end of it. Typically, and you guys know my take, if Denver played faster, if this was a George Karl era Denver Nuggets team, lock.
Right.
20-point win.
Right.
Team been on the road. They're all exhausted. Get Ty Lawson and Kenneth Faried out there, man. Run them up and down the court. They're going to be exhausted. I do think, though, that Denver has a nice advantage in tonight's game should they bring the energy they brought them against Memphis. But I don't know, Swipa. They haven't done that too consistently this year.
Look, I think the thing that they have going for them, though, is that they just won versus the Memphis Grizzlies by 14 by playing elite defense. So my whole thing is, can you take that same energy for the rest of this homestand, including tonight, versus the Portland Trailblazers, by the way, who in the first time you played against them embarrassed you. And then the last time
that was so long ago, though.
I know, but I think the thing is the Anthony Simons 7 threes in the third quarter still sticks to my craw a little bit. So can you bring a little bit of energy versus you had versus Ja, versus the rest of the squad? So I don't know. I think I'm actually feeling kind of good about tonight.
You're feeling good about tonight. What about you, D-Line?
Well, I don't know. We asked this earlier. Like, are we due for, because of what Swipa just said, are we due for an emotional letdown this game? Last game was the vibiest game that, I feel like I've experienced it in
all season, probably
easily all season, and it was just I had physical problems the next day. My brain wasn't able to create the requisite chemicals anymore.
You guys
I exhausted
think he's
all
joking?
my resources.
This is not a joke.
No, dude.
This is a true thing.
I was laying on the ground at work.
At work the next day, it was weird. Up was
down.
It was
bad, dude. But I'm serious. Although I do, if I'm basing the Nuggets' performance on my own personal feelings, which is the best way to go about
smartest thing to
I
do.
feel much better today, so I think they probably do too.
They did get 2 days off. But I am with you. Christmas, Tuesday's game was an emotional boost. Sunday is Christmas Day. You're going to be on the big stage. This is that one that's sandwiched in between it, so maybe it's a letdown game. But one thing that can either pick up the vibes or completely destroy them is that you get back Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr.
Right.
And it's kind of funny, actually, as I'm saying this. Jamal Murray missed 1 game. He's kind of stealing Michael
back.
Porter's thunder. Porter's like out 4 games, and it's like Murray and Porter are back, you guys. Like, Murray wasn't even gone, really.
So true.
But I mean, this is another thing when we talk about they had great energy to your point in the last game, but it's a different guys tonight.
Right.
Is this going to be a big weight for Denver? Like, what are the vibes tonight getting these guys back?
Well, I think the thing is, I think MPJ's been wanting to come back based on what it sounds like from him. So I think the other part of this is, too, I think MPJ wants to come back. He's ready to come back. He's playing at home. And again, you know, except for the last few games when he hurt his heel, he was playing pretty well as well. So I think with him coming back, with Murray coming back, they're actually going to – I'm expecting they bring a little bit of energy. Defensively, am I expecting them to hold them to 91 points tonight? No.
Yeah.
But, hey, maybe another 120 to 110 victory or something like that.
We do have a starting 5.
Oh, my God. Drum roll, please.
Are you ready for this? Any bets?
Michael Porter starting.
Do I have to pay you? That's right. It is Jamal Murray,
Man, I thought so.
KCP,
Thought that one, too.
Michael Porter Jr.,
There we go.
Aaron Gordon, and
Is it Jokic?
it's Jokic.
It's
Oh,
giving
nice.
Let's
Jokic
go.
to start tonight. I mean, it's silly, man, but honestly, part of why this year has been so weird is because this lineup, we just haven't gotten the full momentum with them
Right.
yet. Like, you always get it, and then something interrupts it. So tonight, to me, does feel like a big night, man. The return of the starting lineup, and first game of the year at Utah. Complete letdown, right? It's a new lineup. It's a new lineup. Like, in hindsight, you're like, yeah, it's hard. You have to work out the kinks. I kind of feel like tonight's that. Can Denver get the win? Yes, and I expect them to fight for it. But I kind of expect tonight to be a little clunky, to be honest.
Dude, it's going to be clunky. It's definitely going to be clunky.
Are we going to get aggressive yoke? Why did they kick ass in the last game? You get aggressive yoke, man.
Right.
Anything's possible. Tonight,
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised if we got set the table yoke for 2.5 quarters.
I mean, but I think the thing is, I think if MPJ and Jamal are able to get started in the first quarter and actually get some shots up, get some paint shots up, especially getting to the rim, get their momentum going, I feel confident they can maintain that. Now, the thing is that defensively, are they going to be able to lock in and do what they're supposed to do? Now, again, we don't know. The numbers say that when Michael Porter Jr. is in the lineup,
Right.
the Nuggets have not just a good defense, but a very good defense.
I'd love for this to happen tonight.
But
Are you
again,
kidding me?
We'll have to see.
Dude, Adam's
If they get the best defensive night of the year, they hold, because Memphis, I guess Memphis was a good offense too, but if you do it 2 times in a row, 2 Munders in a row with Michael Porter, oh my
Right.
God.
Right.
We've been quietly rooting for this for weeks now, just with the sensing Michael Porter Jr. coming back. We're like, what if Michael Porter Jr. comes back and the defense is fixed? Like, it's going to be the most hilarious thing ever. But
Well, you know
happen.
who thinks might happen? Michael Malone. As reported by our own Harrison Wynn this week, he had a great article from some takeaways from practice. And guess what Michael Malone kept talking about all practice? Is he a watcher? Is he a viewer of the DNVR Nuggets podcast? Swipa, sometimes I think Malone might be at home combing through the footage, making notes. Everything he's talking about is length. He's like, I've been thinking, we really need some length on the defense. Length makes a difference. He even referenced Michael Porter. He's like, if you look at the numbers of Michael Porter, Harrison did a good job of writing that up, so check out thednvr.com. But I thought that was funny, man. Like, even Malone, I think, is kind of excited about Michael Porter to see, hey, does it make an impact? Let's get to some of these fun topics, though. So, all right, we got a starting 5. I'm curious, Swipa. The starting 5's a lock. Like, those are your 5 guys you're going to battle with. Some people ask, would you ever bring Porter off the bench? That's your starting 5. You can substitute how you want behind it. That's your starting 5. Now it gets tricky. In order, I want you to go in order off the bench. Who are the guys that you trust the most to be playing, factoring in fit, but now you have to go and say, all right, it's only 9. It's not 10.
Right. Well, easily the first person off the bench would be Bruce Brown.
No question.
I think that he's been playing incredible. He's obviously been really good with the starters. I think Bruce is the one you trust the most.
Okay. Easy so far.
Trust level. If we're going trust level, is it Christian Brown?
Brown and Brown off the bench?
Holy
Yeah,
smokes,
I
dude. The
think
Brown
it
and
could be
Brown.
that.
Oh,
Hold on. How spicy of a take is that?
It's literally
How many
not.
peppers?
It's not at all spicy.
It's 1 pepper?
It's it's 1 pepper. Did you see last game?
I did see it.
Christian Brown's incredible.
I mean, he's still a rookie, though.
Yeah,
I
but
think
like
it's the energy, though, and the
It's the energy.
connectivity he has.
I love this.
it's the natural defensive acumen. He just like doesn't. He's like I mean I really think that he is. I don't know. He has like that quiet serial killer thing.
Right.
He's just like unflappable. Like his eyes are dead. Sorry, Christian, if you're watching.
Flattering review of Christian Brown.
But I mean, I'm overstating. But like, he really is just. He's not like he doesn't get overly excited. He doesn't like. He never goes for pump fakes. That's the one thing I love about him the most is he
It's
never
actually a
leaves
really
his
good
feet.
take.
And he plays within rhythm, too.
Yeah.
He does what he's supposed to do. Even on offense, his shot profile is one of a role player. I think the difference between him and the next person, I would say, is that when he's in the game, I trust he's going to do what he needs to do every single possession, defensively and offensively, whether it's with the bench or with the starters.
Circle of Trust has Brown and Brown in it. So these guys you feel like 100% trust in?
Yes.
All right. 100% going forward, or is this where it gets shaky?
Look, I think for Christian, until he shows that we cannot trust him, I do not have a reason to not trust him. Every spot he's been in, he's operated at a very high level, played defense at a high level. And again, when he plays with Jokic especially, he's been a plus.
Yeah.
He's been a straight positive. So I don't have any concerns about him right now.
All right. I'm with you, actually. I've been giving you a hard time just for the sake of the show.
Right.
But I'm with you. Brown and Brown, to me, are the two guys. And I hate to say it because now building a roster, it's almost like, okay, those two are going to play. You almost have to start to fit in. So what positions are available? Where do you go from here? Where do you go?
So here's the thing. Trust, because in the last few games,
Or just
down.
best. Or just best.
Best,
I mean,
right.
I mean,
Bones Highland is obvious. He'd be
Okay.
the obvious next person. But I think the thing with Bones is when Bones is on, everything looks very good.
Right.
But when he's off, he's not making shots. And again, he's not
This
been
sounds
shooting
like
well
a
at the rim.
mistrusting statement, I have to say.
it does sound like it. Do I trust him because sometimes he's good.
Right.
And sometimes he betrays me.
I mean, he's been, again, if we're being honest, he's been a negative defensively this year. But when he plays well offensively, he compensates for a lot of that.
100%.
But when he doesn't,
Right.
Oh, man. Is it a Bones night?
I hope so, man. I mean, look.
We need one.
well, he's playing against his brother, according to you, though. Damian Lillard.
That's
Bones
true.
Highland.
No, not his brother. His
Literal
proxy,
self.
His literal doppelganger. Like,
Have we ever seen him in the same place at the same time?
Well,
before?
tonight.
no, we never have.
So you just put together. Here's the hard part about this thought experiment:
Right.
is you just put together a 1, 2, 3 that I like, don't love, and it has nothing to do with like one individual player. Because I think I'm higher on Bones than anyone. I
Right.
actually think his offensive upside is not being tapped into. Although Denver, on the list today, I did 10 clips. One of those was how Denver is starting to accentuate. He didn't finish the last game, and I think it disguised that he actually was on the cusp of having a strong impact game that would have made that game like out of control. Denver would have won by 30. He missed his layups. He missed his dunks. So be it. He's got to finish those. But I do think Denver's figuring out how to unlock him a little bit more to get the things out of him. But do I like the idea of a lineup? Maybe it's not a lineup. Maybe it's more blended lineup is the answer. But do I like just a 1, 2, 3 of Bones, Brown, Christian? I don't know. I don't know if that's a good trio. So now you're looking at a combo that maybe requires more staggering. But okay, I'll give it to you. What's the next guy?
Honestly,
Last guy.
Unk.
it's going to have to be Dunk.
Oh, the Duncan uncle.
The Duncan
It's
uncle,
going to have to
man.
be Jeff Green.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm
who
with
do you
you.
trust more? Maybe in NBA history with 3 clear steps to the basket. Contested.
Giannis.
Yeah. Yeah, Giannis.
3
Yeah.
steps, that's the full length of the court for Giannis.
Oh, my God. Dude, Jeff Green has been on, like, he's going to be under investigation. So He's
Right.
been, like, collecting bodies at, like, a very troublesome rate lately. I'm ready for it.
No. I like it too. I think he is the one thing I will say about Jeff Green, because again, this experiment is so hard because it's really the collection of players. To me, Jeff Green undoubtedly, and I love Jeff Green, by the way, playing small forward like he did the other night, especially alongside Aaron Gordon. They both have that thing about them where neither of them are actually small forwards, but they both punish you if you try to guard them with small forwards. So they have a natural ability to make you adjust, and if you don't, guess what? Aaron Gordon, duck in on whoever your opposing small forward or guard is, dunk, just powers through him. Jeff Green, same thing. You know how much he kills a player who's undersized?
Oh, yeah.
Jeff Green murders a player who's undersized if he gets him in the post. So
Right.
I like him there, but do I like him next to Bones? This is the hard part. Bones, Brown, Jeff Green. I don't like that. Jeff Green slows up Bones in a way that I think they're like not incompatible, but they're not a perfect fit.
Right.
So where are you then, Vlatko? Where are we going?
No, I'm actually with you on the top 9. I mean, the question is, who are your top 9? But the thought experiment to me is most interesting because, first of all, you'll play a 10th guy, and you could fit a Zeke into that. I think helps it out. But the point is, those are your top 9 guys, and they can't play together. You've got to blend.
Well, I think the issue though is that your only plus offensive player with that lineup that can create for themselves is Bones.
Yep.
But I do think that if Bones, Brown, and then also Jeff Green, Zeke Naji, DeAndre Jordan, defensively, you think idealistically they should do what they're supposed to do. They'll be a very switchable lineup. They can rebound hopefully
That is some
well enough.
defense, yeah.
But the issue is scoring. They won't be
Right.
able to score at a high level. But can Bones compensate enough in the minutes that Jokic and Jamal and MPJ are not on the court to overcome that? That would be the question.
They sucked on offense, by the way, against Memphis, and they won their minutes because they just got so many steals.
Yeah.
Drew a bunch of fouls, by the way, which I don't know if that part is going to be repeatable, but I do think it's important. Here's my new theory on the lineup, and every good idea needs a good name or something like this. The 3-letter guys. KCP, MPJ, that's your stagger. If you swap KCP, who played with the bench against Memphis and it worked great, why? You give Bones an extra floor spacer and defender. You need both next to Bones, right? And some length. But you give KCP and MPJ, they play the 2-3, and with the starters, you bring in Bruce Brown to replace KCP. That's good. He plays the same role. He can play that. And then you bring in Christian Brown to play the small forward spot. Nailed that in the last game. I like that. And now your second unit, based on your top 9, which I agree with, is Bones, KCP, MPJ, Jeff Green, and maybe you throw in Zeke Naji at the 4 and you let Jeff Green play the 5. Spacing, defense, I think that's it. Again, I like this exercise because you can't play those 4 guys together, but there are combos where I think everybody wins.
Yeah, we talked about this before the game, too. I do think that I wish MPJ would be a little bit more involved with the second unit. But to your point, having a 42 to 45% three-point shooter on the court at all times in the corner, I mean, that makes it a lot more potent. And then on top of that, if Jeff Green is attacking, if Zeke Naji is rolling and attacking, then you have him in the corner, then you got Bones going downhill, step-back threes, whatever else it might be. It makes you a lot more dynamic. And then on top of that, KCP shooting 80% in the three-point line from the corner, basically. I think that actually works out really well.
I mean, Jeff Green in Brooklyn ran a lot of pick and roll as the roll man. And look, we just talked about how well he dunks. He can actually run this. A Jeff Green Bones pick and roll with KCP, MPJ, and Zeke Naji spacing is actually maximum spacing and dynamic and interesting. So part of me just thinks, look, lean into what you do well. This might work. Denver might have an opportunity on their hands.
Right.
I'm having a hard time picturing that. I got to be honest. Jeff Green and Bones? Is that what you said?
Hey, I'm telling you, in Brooklyn, he was a phenomenal roll guy. And think about it. Who has more above the rim gravity on a lob, Jokic or Jeff Green?
DeAndre Jordan.
Well, DeAndre Jordan for sure. Yeah. Hey, maybe DeAndre Jordan swaps in there for one of these guys and it works out similarly.
Do you trust DJ tonight?
The backup center option is no. They go small. Right. I mean, they go really, really small. So I don't think so. I think you stick with Zeke. And by the way, I think Zeke's playing. Michael Malone in the pregame talked about Zeke and giving him more runs. So I think we get Zeke games in a row here. And honestly, as much as I like the pick the guy who's the matchup is for, I do think you need to commit to something for a little while just to get. Maybe later in the year you go to that.
Well,
but right
you brought
now,
this up about Memphis. Yeah. Memphis is committed to their young core. As bad as it might look at times. So maybe they do need more of that.
A little bit more of that. All right, let's get to the fun part of the show, shall we?
Finally, Jesus.
Yeah, let's get to some haters ball over here. Swipa, you know the haters.
I do.
I challenge Swipa to give me the top 5 Jokic haters in the NBA. And I'm not going to lie.
Called out by name.
I didn't even know 2 of these guys.
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't even know 2 of them.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, all right, without further ado, walk us through in order. Start with number 5. We got a little graphic for you. Let's go ahead and bring it up. Swipa's top haters.
What a graphic.
Why would it? I feel like it should have been haters for swiping.
You think haters? All right, whatever.
That could have fit. Swipa's haters.
Yeah, you have to remember Kale made it. But all right, what do we got?
All right, number 5 is Brian Windhorst. Now, I don't know if you all have been paying attention to the straw polls, but over the last 2 years, Brian, he doesn't call himself a Jokic hater. He continued to bring up the fact that he said he voted for Jokic 2 years ago in his first MVP. But if you listen to him at all over the course of the entire year, he did not think that Jokic deserves it over Joel Embiid. And even to the fact that Embiid only played 51 of the 72 games that year, and he still was arguing that Embiid should not be penalized for missed games.
He had that one podcast that was like the most disgusting, like why he was talking about why Jokic shouldn't be the MVP.
Right.
And it was like, listen. I mean, it was like, listen, it's not that I know I don't like Jokic, but I have Serbian friends.
Right.
I have Serbian friends. So how can I be xenophobic? It's so true, man.
Yeah,
he's a big hater.
He's just one of those ones that he just hasn't fully bought in. And it's just very clear.
I think he talks to players a lot. I mean, he's a plugged-in guy. He talks to players, and I think that some players, including the ones he's closest to, are very anti-Jokic guys. So I think he's around going, hell, hey, man, like, you know, you talk to a LeBron, they're going to tell you it shouldn't be Jokic. You don't need to talk to a LeBron.
We talked to Dave on Reed. It was like, the league's not bought in.
The league does not like Jokic.
I hope the league is one of the top
the entire NBA Players Association. All right. Brian Windhorst, I think a worthy number 5. What else we got?
Great.
All right, number 4, who actually surprisingly might be low, is Nick Wright.
What?
Only
How is
4?
this possible?
Only
Right.
4?
This
Right.
is BS.
Oh, this
Right.
is the upset of the
I want
year.
to recount.
I know,
Holy shit.
I know.
I think you made a bad
Sorry,
list.
the votes are already in.
Votes are
Let's go to the
in.
next segment, please.
So here's the thing about Nick. If you listen to 2 years prior, yes, he has the Vorp man himself who argued that LeBron was better than Jordan because of advanced analytics.
Is that right?
Yes. No longer believes in advanced analytics
love it, yeah.
because of Jokic.
Yeah.
So for the last 2 seasons prior to this one, he has basically every time available disbanded Jokic.
Wow.
And again, even now he thinks Jokic is a top 6-ish to 5-ish player,
Yeah.
which after 2 MVPs is ridiculous. But he has come out recently and said, had Jokic not won the last 2 MVPs, he would be the favorite to win the
God
MVP
damn
this
it.
year. But I think that's because Jokic is winning.
I love the way he does. I got to give Nick this. I have to give Nick this.
It is-
Honestly,
he is the supreme
Yes.
hater in this world.
Yeah, he is a great hater, but he's also great at turning a phrase,
Right.
turning a
Yeah.
concept, like whatever,
Right.
like a master. I would call it a master of sophistry, right? Like you're just arguing to argue, and he can take. If you told him to switch the take and go the other side, boom, he would have the best take there as well. So that flip, I saw him the other day. This was a sneaky one he was doing. I saw a thing that was like, Nick Wright is not a Jokic hater, and he was going, Luka Doncic. He's like, how far did he go in the playoffs? Jokic loses in 5 games in
Right.
round 1, 5 games. Meanwhile, Luka goes to the conference finals. You go, he also lost in 5 games
Right.
to the same goddamn team, man. Like, what's the difference?
And played worse.
They
And played worse versus the Warriors.
The exact same team, but anyway. But he's good at that. You know what I
can't
mean?
believe
He can
how
flip it.
upset this segment's making me.
I know, Nick Wright. He should have been higher though. I see the
God
rest of
damn.
this
Well,
list. All
the
right.
thing is, I think Nick Wright has at least thought through why he does this.
Yeah, no, Nick Wright has looked at like my conclusion is he sucks. My starting point is this.
Yeah,
How
he
do I
just
get
fills it
there?
back in,
Yeah, I
right.
just fill it in.
Right.
All right, what do we got?
Next is Jason Timms. Now, some of you might
Don't
be
know who
unaware.
this guy is. Not gonna lie.
So, if you pay attention to Colin Cowherd and the volume, he is consistently on this show, and he has talked about Jokic many times.
I gotta look this guy up to block him.
Right. Now,
find him to block
he
him.
has had some takes about Jokic, and namely,
What are they? What's his angle?
well, the newest one is that Jokic is not a top 5 player because of the position that he plays. And because he thinks that there are too many defensive deficiencies to say
okay, all right,
he's
all right,
a
yeah.
consistent top
All right,
3.
classic.
Right, which again, but if you are a generational offensive player, which by the way, Ben Taylor dropped another video today
Yeah, it
explaining
was
why he
great.
might be the GOAT passer.
Yeah.
If you're a generational offensive player, i.e. Steph Curry, then you also get a boost for what you do on that side of the ball. No one's going to say Steph Curry is a plus defensively on a consistent
Right.
basis. Well, Jokic has shown he's improved defensively, but
Right.
offensively, no one can stop him.
Right.
We just watched this in the Warriors series where it was him and friends versus the champion. So Jason has said that he values players like Jason Tatum and wings, even LeBron, at 12 years old.
Right.
Over players like Jokic, and a lot of this has to do with position. So his takes, I don't think they are as plausible
Right.
as some others, which is why he's
Right.
there.
People watch and analyze basketball like building a model plane,
Yeah.
and this is the model plane take where there's like an instruction manual, and it's like your center needs to be Clint Capella and your point guard needs to be this,
Yeah.
and it's like there's nothing interesting about these conversations. So to me, I get it. I'm like, that's a position you can argue, and therefore there is a person that exists that's going to argue.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
All right. What do we got? Number 2.
All right. It's the classic. It's Nate Duncan.
This is my guy.
The
by the
old
way.
go-to.
No,
guy.
he's a great analyst. I love his writing, but he has at no point in time in the last 8 years of Jokic's career
Yeah, he doesn't like Jokic.
ever thought that Jokic was special.
Yeah.
So
I don't think that. I think that's unfair.
Well,
I
he
talked
thinks he's
today,
special.
He thinks he's very special.
But I think the level to which Jokic has reached, his takes have not reached that yet. I think as Jokic has gotten better, he's kind of held him in the same place over the last 4 years.
Right.
But I think it's because, again, there's limitations.
Here's the difficulty of this thing. The argument that people like Nate Duncan think, it's again, I think a little bit of the model airplane
Right.
thing where it's like, I've never seen it win, therefore it can't win, right? Because I've never seen it. Which, by the way, people said of Steph Curry in 2014, right? All the way up until he won it, it was you can't win that way. Then you win it, and all of a sudden it's like, everybody needs to win that way.
Yeah, it's the
We
only
need
way to
guys
win.
that can shoot. It's the only way you can win. You need to shoot threes. I think that this is the Nate Duncan thing, and here's the part that makes it hard. He'd say you can't build a good defense around Jokic. Where's Denver ranked defensively?
28th.
24th now. We're
24th.
climbing.
Hell
We're
yeah,
climbing.
dude.
But to
Right
be fair,
now, it's just a tough time. Like right now, you're gonna have to sit on it.
They
and be
are
like,
13th over the last 15 games, by
Right,
the way.
right.
He's only temporarily right.
I'm just saying that this is the argument, and this is why those guys hang on to it as long as they do. But I will agree with you that I think Nate Duncan, for whatever reason, digs his heels in on Jokic just a little too much.
Right.
I wish he'd pump him up just a little bit more.
Right.
All right, number one.
Who's the number?
The
I
last
cannot
one.
believe
The number
we're not-
one hater?
I can't believe we're
Better
not
not
about
be
to
D-line.
reveal Nick Wright.
It's Ben Lyons. And again, you're like,
Don't
who's
even
Ben
know
Lyons?
this guy is.
Who is Ben Lyons? I want you to go to YouTube, and I want you to look at the Rich Eisen show.
You want us to be mad? Oh, this is.
I
what-
actually
he's
have seen this
I've
guy,
seen this
yeah.
too. I didn't know his name because I did not internalize it. I was like, get that out
But
of my
this
brain.
is his shining achievement
Yeah, it
in
really
the NBA
was.
last year. He
Rode
put
that
a
wave.
list out that said that he would take 15 players in the
Yeah.
NBA in the playoffs
Yeah.
over Jokic
What?
after averaging 31, 13, and 6
15?
and 35, 15, and 6 over the last 3 games versus the Warriors.
Yeah.
Devin Booker.
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
Players with no great playoff success, including Luka.
right.
Over players like Jokic. But again, this was such an egregious list that he put out. I think even Nick
15.
Wright, I've never seen him put Jokic at a 15.
Right.
That
That's
was out
even
of line.
worse. Yeah.
Yeah, that was out of line.
Out of pocket, but good news. Nobody knows who that guy is. And he had one shining moment. It was shitting on Jokic. So get it. Congratulations, Ben Lyons.
Congratulations, the entire list. You've embarrassed yourself for another year, and may another year of embarrassment be coming for you.
I can't wait for it. All right, let's do everybody's favorite part here where D-Line makes us all rich beyond our
hell yeah,
wildest
finally,
dreams.
dude.
Head to DraftKings Sportsbook. Use promo code DNVR. Eric, what are we doing tonight?
All right, so Dev's not here. We're not betting on any goddamn Blazers. Not a single Blazer bet
Hell
when he
yeah.
plays tonight. All right, so just we're getting that out of the way.
Thank you.
So let's just start. Big picture here. Are the
Okay.
Knicks going to win this game?
The
The Blazers are on the end of a long road trip, as you mentioned. I think this feels like an absolute guarantee that the Nuggets are going to win. I can't believe I shouldn't use those
Wow,
words.
that was
However,
the worst thing you could
That's
have
heavy
ever
language
possibly done.
but the Nuggets
I
are
guarantee.
favored pretty heavily. It's like
Yeah.
minus
Five
two,
and- 5.5.
210. But I'm going to take the minus. I'm going to take the points minus 5.5.
You think they'd roll tonight?
Well, that's not rolling.
5.5? It's rolling.
Comfortable win.
That's a comfortable
I mean,
win.
it's 3 baskets.
You know what? I'm betting with you. I'm not.
I
questioning
listen.
it.
I like
Yeah, I
it.
like
I
that.
feel good about that.
You know
I
what?
feel
I'm
good
taking
about
it.
that.
I don't feel great at all. But
Somebody
I'll do
else who I feel very good about, who's been rolling, who needs to be, as I see it, in the All-Star game, Aaron Gordon.
Okay.
Oh, my goodness.
Aaron Gordon last time against these very Blazers scored 20 points. I'm taking him. His over-under is 17.5.
With all the scoring back, you're still taking him.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, he's going to eat inside.
You know,
gonna
I just
eat inside.
I just match your bets. Same with Dev. I don't.
Okay.
I question him just to get you to defend him, but
Sure,
I'm
sure.
in.
Well, if you'll notice, my defense on both of them is that I just said yes.
That's
That's what I
It was a
think.
strong defense. Very strong defense.
And then, I don't know how you guys feel about this player, Nikola Jokic.
Feel really good about him.
Nikola Jokic, last time against these very same Blazers,
Yeah.
was 1 rebound or 1 assist short of a triple-double, 30 points, 10 rebounds, 9 assists. I'm just going to go for his points, rebounds, assists. I love this bet. I love counting every time Jokic does something and being able to add it to the tally. It's 46.5,
That's really high.
Yeah.
but I feel great about it.
All
Yeah,
right.
that's not bad. I trust
Those
that
are great bets, right?
You got a thing that you think's going to happen tonight, Swipa?
So, oh yeah, what's
Or
the
you-
thing
are you
that's
built-
going to happen?
Well, I'm taking Michael Porter Jr. threes.
I love it. Let's just get right into
If I could take
threes.
Michael Porter Jr. 3
That's how you do a
attempts,
bet.
I would do that.
Yeah, I would take the attempts. I would take Dame Lillard attempts. He attempted 17.
Oh
last
my
time
God,
against the
you're,
Denver
Made
you're
9
9 of
absolutely
them.
right. Michael Porter threes. Where is it at? Oh, they don't. Oh, they have it on the board. 1.5.
Yeah.
I'm not touching
It's
it.
minus 175.
Oh God,
though.
maybe I should touch it. It's a great bet. I don't know where he's at. I don't feel good. You're right, but you got
I
to.
can profit boost this.
You gotta
If I do it,
pounce
I get it up
early.
to +1. You know what? I'm doing a double bet on it.
This is like
Double bet on it. Are you
investing
kidding
in
me?
early Apple. We didn't know what it was.
I use my profit. You get a profit boost today. I did
Holy
a profit
smokes.
boost. Get it to +114. I love that one. All right, you gonna get single game parlay on us?
Yeah, I got a single game
All
parlay.
right, what do you got for us?
Okay, single game parlay. My ultimate bet every time the Denver Nuggets play the Portland Trail Blazers. My favorite bet ever. Nikola Jokic to hit 1 3-pointer in Yusuf Nurkic's
God, I hate
eye.
this one, but
He
we'll
does
do it.
this every time. It's sweet and delicious every time.
It is fun to root for. I'm
It's
in.
fun to root for. So you just need 1+. I'm going 1 Jokic 3-pointer.
Okay.
I'm doubling down on Aaron Gordon points in his over 17.5.
All right.
Just add it
that's
right
the-
in.
You know what? Okay. What else?
I'm going to go the Denver Nuggets money line in
a
the
good one.
parlay because we're just sweetening the pot.
Yeah.
You can get not great odds and make them great odds. And then one Aaron Gordon steal. He's been doing this over and over and over. This is
true.
my homage to Dev. Dev, you're
true.
not here, but you're here in spirit. The only way you're not here is by betting heavily on the Portland Trailblazers. All that together will give you plus 550.
You know what they don't give you tonight is Bones threes in this parlay, and I'm kind of bummed by it.
They're scared.
They are scared, man. They're so scared.
God, I gotta put MPJ. I gotta put his three.
You want to
pointers
put
in
two
this.
threes in on the parlay, on the
I
sales game parlay?
think I have to. Dude.
I'm going to have to do it too. It's going to boost my odds
2
up to
plus?
plus 380. I got a DraftKings Sportsbook odds boost 25. Oh, man. If I win tonight, I'm winning all kinds of money.
You'll never see me again if I win tonight.
You'll never see me again. All right, guys, we got Swipa in the house for the post-game show as well. So if they lose, we're blaming him for everything.
God damn it,
Hit that
Swipa.
like button on the way out. We're going to see you later.
Let's go.